For today's cup of coffee, I have so many references, so I'm not even going to. I mean, the links will be in the description box.
Vindication.
Yes, because this was something that I had wondered about years ago and had tried to ask within a scientific community and was absolutely shamed and shunned.
Yes. Wrongfully.
And, you know, I could do the full razor fist thing. Fuck you, I was right. But I don't have the spinning chair.
Fuck you, we were right. I'll do it.
But it's one of those things that with the collective unconscious, if one person has a question, or it's more like the 100th monkey thing.
100th monkey? What
yes,
the fuck is that?
That means that at a certain point, knowledge can become encoded in DNA.
Okay.
It's like the monkeys that they learned that if they put the sweet potatoes in the salt water, that they tasted better.
Mm.
And so they taught it to other monkeys. And then at a certain point, the monkeys that were born, nobody had to teach them. They just automatically knew how to do it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we were talking about the other day, that within us, we carry the knowledge of those who came before us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of how to tap into that. Still working on that. But anyhow,
I think you have to, sit with yourself and ask.
Yeah, I think so.
And, literally,
And to trust.
Yeah. Go with your gut.
That's the thing right now, because we have so many voices that are telling us that we don't know what we know within ourselves that we know.
Because we're constantly bombarded by noise.
Yes, and it's a matter of getting rid of the noise for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So within this, I'm going to try to present this in a concise, coherent manner. But because I am a very divergent thinker and may have a touch of the autism, and when I talk about the tisms, and some of the communities where I travel have a lot of people that have autism to various and sundry degrees, this is no slam against those people at all.
None.
I think that people that have Asperger's and stuff like that, I thoroughly believe that is a superpower. For such a time as this, to be able to see, recognize patterns without even thinking about it. Just do things automatically that other people struggle with.
Yes.
I understand that they have their own struggles that are just different.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime I talk about the tisms, do not think that I'm slamming these people at all.
We adore them.
Yeah. Especially since I thoroughly have, for many years, believed that the oldest kid has Asperger's. If he doesn't, he's hadn't missed a damn good chance of having it. But the fact that I sort of have tendencies and traits from time to time also.
Yeah. But that's okay. You
just,
there's the thing. Hold on, I'm fiddling with lights.
He's got something in the corner. It's
I remember.
Leave it.
Oh, there's a second remote.
Okay, anyhow, this is the ADHD. It's talking on that.
What was I going to say?
You were talking about autism. That's why, please don't distract yourself. You're making it worse. We're talking about people that are born differently for specific times in history. It is a gift. It is a gift.
For people who have high-functioning autism, they're able to figure stuff out that other people cannot.
Right. Right. So don't ever think that we're downing anybody. It's just when we laugh about us having ADHD, kid has a different form of it than I do. I truly have the hyperactivity with it.
Well, the thing is, there are some people that theorize that ADHD is and ADD is a form of autism.
Well, it's
on the spectrum, but it's different.
I
It's
don't
an
know.
offshoot. because
Well,
it has
it's,
elements.
what is it? Neurodivergent? Is that what they're calling it now?
Neurodivergent, yeah.
Which means different people think differently.
Yeah.
Well, duh. All this, and it sort of goes into what we're going to eventually be talking about, which is vibration and frequency.
Yes.
Everything is vibration and frequency.
Yeah.
And so, just happened upon things, because this is what happens. I'll have a question, and sometimes it may take years before the answer comes, but it will eventually get here. Had heard somebody talking the other day about humans having magnetite in their brains.
We have heavy metals in us.
Well,
it's not
yeah,
like it's not like huge amounts.
but with the magnetite, what is going on over there? Cat noises. Oh my God, it's nasty.
The cat has decided to have a spasm.
This is from 2019, Real Clear Science, and just the snippet that I'm going to read says, iron composes the heme, or the hemoglobin, the red pigment in our blood. It's stored in ferritin, a protein ubiquitous in almost all living organisms. And most curiously, it's found in mineral form in the human brain. And that iron mineral is magnetite, which is Fe304, and its name is an obvious clue to its most intriguing property. Magnetite is the most magnetic of Earth's naturally occurring minerals.
Yes, hence the name, magnetite.
Magnetite allows us to sense the Earth's magnetic field.
Yes, it's what connects us to Earth.
Yeah. It says this remarkable ability is present across all across the animal kingdom, from bacteria and birds to turtles and bats. Sensing the planet's geomagnetism grants these creatures a keen sense of direction and location, known as magnetoreception, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it says that they're saying that humans, that their magnetic sense is weaker compared to other animals.
At this point,
There's
it is.
question about that. There is question, because that we don't do what animals do. And I have known this for a long time. These people that are squalling climate change and this and that and the other, as far as the animals beaching themselves, and it's like, oh, they're committing suicide. No, their ability to sense the earth and the magnetism and where to go is fucked up right now. I'm going to get to that. And it says that there are competing theories as far as explaining magnetoreception, other than the researcher that's mentioned in this article. It said, but there are some people who seem to possess a superhuman sense of direction, including the Inuit and some Aboriginal Australians.
That's because they are connected to their ancestors. They're connected to the earth.
Absolutely.
They are not bombarded by noise all the fucking time.
But within that, it could be that you do have different humans who have different levels of ability on this.
Yeah.
Hear this cat? We've been stuck in the house.
Y'all
for
want
2
this cat.
months.
For
Anyhow,
real. I'm
it's
dead
just-
serious.
It's something else trying to distract. One of the best articles that I found on some of this stuff that ties a lot of this together is actually would be considered woo-woo new age. And it's not, because this lady, and her name is Efan, Hsieh, I think it's the last name. She has really put her research into this. And had she included like an email address or something like that, I would have contacted her and thanked her for the work that she has put into this article.
Is there not a way to comment on the article?
You have to join whatever page or group or whatever, and I don't do well with the joining. I just don't.
Yeah, let's not.
And she has written on June the 18th, continuing into June 19th and the 20th of 2023, a never-before-seen, to her knowledge, pattern emerged in the Schumann resonance. And what is the Schumann resonance? And that is sometimes called the Earth's heartbeat. And these are extremely low frequency, quasi-standing electromagnetic waves that occur in the space between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the ionosphere extends from about 100 to 1,000 kilometers from the surface of the Earth into space. It can be seen as a dynamic sphere with an excess of positively charged ions encircling the Earth. It absorbs radiation from space. During the day, the part of the ionosphere that faces the sun absorbs solar radiation from our sun, and at night, a greater amount of the radiation comes from cosmic rays from stars. And it's like Kid and I were talking about. I don't know if some of us are just more attuned to some of these frequencies, but you can feel it. We can feel it.
Yeah.
And we can look at each other and go, "Oh, did you just feel that energy shift?" And a lot
It's
of this,
just like insane.
and
It
a lot of
feels
people,
fucked up.
they want to relegate that to New Age. No, it's biology.
It literally is. Like, some of us are just more sensitive to it than
Yeah.
others. And it's just like, it literally, I don't know how to describe it. It literally you
You
can
just feel
feel
it.
it.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, it's indescribable.
in some ways, it's just like trying to explain to somebody what it feels like to ride an elevator when the other person that you're trying to explain it to has never ridden an elevator,
Yeah.
and they look at you funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on some of that stuff. And it says that the density and thickness of the ionosphere varies with the amount of radiation hitting it, and it's dense enough that it forms the ceiling of which our radio waves bounce as they travel from point A to point B. Earth herself is a sphere within a sphere, and the surface of the Earth is predominantly negatively charged. That matters.
Very much.
As far as the positive and negative charge, and as far as how that works within our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And according to NASA, at any given moment, up to 2,000 lightning storms take place all over the globe, generating up to 50 lightning flashes per second. These continuously changing lightning discharges around the world propel the Schumann ELF waves. Some of these join and amplify each other and create waves which continue to bounce off the ionosphere. And these other frequencies are resonant in the same way that if you strike a tuning fork of a specific frequency and bring it close to another of the same or harmonic frequency, the waves align and strengthen each other. And the second tuning fork also begins to vibrate. Now hold that in mind about the vibration. The SR frequencies are 100,000 times lower than the lowest frequency radio waves used for telecommunications. The strongest frequency, also called the base or fundamental frequency, is known to be 7.83 hertz. This is the frequency at which the electromagnetic waves bounce off the ionosphere one time. The resonant second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth order frequencies are harmonics of the base frequency, which is 14.3, 20.8, 27.3, 33.8, 45, and 45 respectively. They correspond with the number of times the waves bounce off the ionosphere and vary within 0.5 hertz any given day. What does all this mean? You could say Earth is a giant battery we happen to be living on, and within a complete electric circuit. Our bodies are conduits of electrical and electromagnetic forces within, and of course between ourselves. Now, with some of this stuff, and I'll continue on here in a minute, we're out of sync.
Yeah.
The tuning forks right now are not harmonizing.
That's because nobody does self-care.
Well, it's not just that, it's everything. And she goes on and explains in this article about it says there's a number of scientific studies that show a significant correlation between the Schumann resonance and various biomarkers of human health and wellness. So it's not just fucking woo-woo.
Mm-hmm.
For those who, sitting there going, they called me ugly names.
Ooh, woo, woo.
Whoa, whoa. And it's like, oh, this stuff can't possibly affect humans. By shit, it does.
It sure as hell does. Suck it, bitches.
And it says that in one
Sorry.
of the, it's all right, one of the most cited is a 1979 study in which Professor R. Weaver from the Max Planck Institute for Behavioral Psychology, or Physiology rather, put a bunch of healthy male college students in an underground bunker that was hermetically sealed and insulated from the SR frequencies for a month. It didn't take long for the students to exhibit a number of health ailments, including circadian rhythm disruption, headaches, anxiety, and depression. That's one of the reasons we're having an epidemic of mental health problems.
Yeah.
It says that he then added an SR frequency generator to the underground bunker and the students' health returned to normal. Okay, and it says that both U.S. and Russia space programs investigated the effect of low-frequency pulsed electromagnetic fields on the health of astronauts in space who are removed from the frequencies. NASA's findings reveal that cells grow faster and stronger and live longer when exposed to low-frequency pulsed electromagnetic fields like the Schumann resonances, because that's where humans are supposed to live. We're not designed to live in fucking space.
Right.
All right, within that, and see, this is how all this connects. In my brain, it is just totally and completely, it's like, I get it,
I don't
get
know
it.
about you, but I'm kind of happy living on Earth as long as it's
Yeah.
in harmony.
And as far as where the Earth's magnetic field is funky right now, we know we're going through a period of time where the magnetosphere is thinner. That's why the sun looks white hot instead of yellow. That's because the magnetosphere it's cyclical. Doesn't have a damn thing to do with CO2 or any of this shit.
HARP.
And, well, yeah, I didn't go into that. And then you have this as far as the solar maximum. The sun goes through 11-year cycles, as far as they know. And they thought that this solar maximum was going to, it's coming in faster than they thought that it was going to. And it says that at solar minimum, the sun's magnetic field is strong and organized with two clear poles like a normal dipole magnet. Alex James, who is a solar physicist at University College in London, he has said, and he said the magnetic field acts as a giant force field that contains the sun's superheated plasma or ionized gas close to the surface, suppressing solar activity. But the magnetic field slowly gets tangled, and with some regions becoming more magnetized than others, James said. As a result, the sun's magnetic field gradually weakens, and solar activity begins to ramp up. Plasma rises from the star's surface and forms massive magnetized horseshoes, also known as coronal loops, that pepper the sun's lower atmosphere. These fiery ribbons can then snap as the sun's magnetic field realigns, releasing bright flashes of light and radiation known as solar flares. Sometimes flares also bring enormous magnetized clouds of fast-moving particles known as coronal mass ejections, or CMEs. And a few years after the maximum, the sun's magnetic field snaps and then completely flips. This ushers in the end of the cycle and the beginning of a new solar minimum. So, because we do not live in a vacuum, those electromagnetic fields hit the Earth. Then we have, as far as the North and South poles, have been shifting on Earth. It's not cataclysmic. It just is what happens.
Yeah.
Then you
It's
mix
just a thing.
you mix that in with the movements of the planets, which have their own frequencies and vibrations, and everything affects everything else.
Yes.
It's chemistry. And each individual because there is no coincidence. They respond and react to these different frequencies and vibration on an individual basis.
Yeah.
So this is why all this together, which is basically a clusterfuck at this point in history, is not just because people are crazy. They feel crazy because everything is out of balance.
They knew about this all along, and they
Sure they
just
did.
now decided to tell us.
Well, no, they didn't decide that this was a matter of just, digging. And how much the science had changed and the information that's being put out there had changed. And like one article was from 2004 that I was reading. And then one that came out a year or two ago is like, oh, no, that's not. So basically some of this shit that they're saying is not actually is. And it seems to me that the military-industrial complex, aka the reptilians, have developed some of these extra low frequency weapons.
Yes. Yes.
So knowing that that is going to basically short circuit people's nervous systems, thought processes. So if you've noticed some of this stuff, it may not be just you.
No.
But for me, it was vindication that I knew what I thought, what I knew within my spirit years ago, and to try to stand firm in the face of everybody within a specific community basically pointing and laughing. So yes, I can do the razor fist. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right.
Yeah, you have every right to.
So it's a matter of trying to keep everybody sane. I know this one was total nerd 101, but when the puzzle pieces fit together for me, I was excited about it and I wanted to share it.
It is exciting. It is very exciting, honestly. Because it's like, we're not crazy.
Right.
We're not fucking crazy.
Right. So, and the one article about, it's talking about, are we ascending? That's talking about on a spiritual level, that's where you do get into the woo-woo. But which I'm not saying that she's not right about that, but she has truly done her research on all this other stuff. I looked for other people. I did not go to the specific because I didn't want to read 15 research papers
I don't
today.
know. I feel like we are, in a way, ascending spiritually.
Yeah.
Because
it's shifting.
It definitely is shifting. Because a lot of bad people, and proven to be bad people, are dying off quickly.
Some of them.
Well, they're not all going to die off like you spray ant killer.
No, I don't know. That's what they're trying to do to the normies.
They're trying, but they're not. That's not working.
So this is the thing, and I guess that was the main thing, is to give people hope.
This is giving hope.
If you are one of these people that are more sensitive to these frequencies than others, you're not crazy. And
Absolutely.
She actually had suggestions as far as if you are extra sensitive to these things, which was grounding. Go out with your bare feet, touch the soil.
Yes.
Soil.
Even if it's the clay soil, it's still soil.
Drink water. Different things like that. Just sit and be. If you can get away from noise, if you can get back into nature, I cannot, like I said, God love y'all that are in an urban environment.
We did that at the short stay center. We went outside, took our shoes off, out on the lawn, and grounded there. I was kind of iffy because I'm like, what energy am I soaking up here?
Well, on something like that, it would be, I think that the frequency of the earth, which draws the negative shit out of somebody.
That's true.
It helps to sort of restore some balance within that person. Even if it is out of sync right now, it's still going to help us align with what is supposed to be normal. This is why everybody feels isolated. They feel like they are disconnected from God or from spirit or whatever. It's all this. It's like the frequency is being jammed.
It definitely helped. It definitely did help. Two of us were out there sitting peacefully.
Yeah.
And two people came out, and it was like that Foamy the Squirrel episode where Jermaine was trying to meditate and Foamy was just bugging the shit out of her.
Uh-huh. It's like either join us or go over yonder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got your choice. And that's
my
okay.
bad. There was actually three of us there. That was actually sitting in peaceful silence.
There are some people, and we've discussed this for a couple of days, youngest kid and I, there are some people that they enjoy the drama. They don't want solutions to their problems because the problems feel a need, which the need is attention seeking. They're looking for validation from outside of themselves because their connection to God and or spirit is so weak that they've got to have that external because they can't form that connection to have the internal validation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So I have gone woo-woo. I used to charge people $150 an hour for those bits of wisdom. For real.
But it's not all woo-woo.
No, it's not woo-woo. It wasn't woo-woo then.
So.
It really wasn't.
Fuck you, we were right.
Final thoughts on
it.
this.
That's
which
it.
I think I have just total paradankness because I was excited, and I think I have just blown my microphone out.
We were right.
Yes. And that's what we wanted to encourage all of you all. If you've been having these feelings and stuff like that, it's not necessarily that you're mental. Everything is just, there's a lack of harmony.
Yeah.
It's chaos right now.
Major chaos.
It's like progressive jazz. Or some of this industrial music, experimental industrial, which is nothing more than a cacophony of noise.
I would put it in not just industrial, that ADHD tech music.
Well, some of the ADHD tech that you played was horrid.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was horrid.
It felt like I was being assaulted on the brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was making me out of sync.
I will tell you this. When
It's
I was
fucking up my energy.
Because I was always nerd. I think in high school, I was like 7th, 8th grade or whatever. I had plants, and I would play different types of music to the plants to see, everything else was the same.
They enjoy certain music.
They do. They do.
And they respond well to certain music.
Classical music, they grew better.
Because it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People will respond better to classical music, even though some of them don't
Some
like
of
it.
You have to be in the mood.
Who's that pompous one? I hate him.
That was Mozart. He was an ass.
I hate any of his music.
He was just an ass. You can tell. He was just very flippant.
You can hear it. And
But
his music is bad.
I have a theory that one of the reasons that people gravitate towards specific music, and I understand that some music speaks what people can't say for themselves. I get that. It can be cathartic. But I think that there are certain sound frequencies that people become deplete in, just like different other nutrients. Some people gravitate towards different colors. It's all frequency, that there's something that they need to help them.
Imagine the time when music was not available.
God, that's horrible. That's a horrible... Well, people hummed. They
Poorly.
hummed.
Some of them poorly.
And I think that where we have so much electronic everything,
Oh, that's
that is part of what is blocking everybody's frequency.
Yes, because we are constantly
Bombarded.
surrounded. I mean, look at all the power lines.
Power lines, they've got the cell phone towers, now they've got the satellites,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Everything.
Uh-huh. So, that's fine. Your final thoughts? And so if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you have other information about some of the Schumann resonances or whatever, if you want to sit there and go, Orlando, you full of shit, that's okay. You can disagree. But I would appreciate, as far as your a little bit of references of why you think that I'm incorrect or that these other people are incorrect. And
I
you
don't give a
can
fuck if you think I'm incorrect or not. I'm right, you're wrong. Fuck it. Fuck
you
you.
can send
I
us
feel it, bitch.
you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And like I said, references, and some of the references that I'm going to give you, they have references that they have used within their articles, so you can cross-reference all that. Yeah.
Yes. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all and have a good... Oh, that felt good to say fuck you.
We're right.
Yeah.
It's not about being pompous, but when you do get a little
Nah,
bit
it's
of
not the pompous.
vindication,
It's just like, finally.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's a little bit of a relief. Anyhow, know that you all are loved. Yeah, and we believe in you. We really
Yeah.
do. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.